All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from downtown Baton Rouge, starts now.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. All right.
Hour number 2.
Who do we think sabotaged the video today? We were joking about our boy Tay-Tay, but he's the actual only person that answered the phone, and he's on vacation, so he answered the phone on an airplane. Nobody else answering the phone.
Must have bought that airplane Wi-Fi, that $18 Wi-Fi.
Can you have money?
Dang, dude.
For a 1 hour flight to Orlando.
Yeah.
Is it,
you really can't.
Is it somebody trying to keep us off the top 5, maybe in the top morning shows?
You think it's McElroy?
We're number 7.
We're 7.
Yeah,
You think it's McElroy and Cubes?
could have been. Or was it somebody else that used to be in the foxhole that's starting a new morning show over on FS1?
That seems likely.
That seems
Wow.
actually likely.
Debut show. First time we've had trouble getting on YouTube. That's weird.
Ugh.
Wow.
A lot of people
Feels
out
like
there to blame.
sabotage.
A lot of people believe in
A lot of
coincidences,
people.
but I don't.
A lot of people. So I don't know. We'll try to get on, but feels like it's an inside job.
Feels like Jordan's struggling right now.
Jordan,
Like
he's going to be
really-
okay. He's going to need,
Yeah.
he's going to need
Jordan needs a Xanax.
probably like a Dos Equis.
Yeah, or 2. He should probably go for dose.
This is unbelievable.
I would go for dose.
How are your stress levels? Like if scale of 1 to 10, like 10, like you're about to like die. 1, you're
8.
just chilling on a beach
8.
somewhere.
8.
You're an 8?
Definitely an 8.
That's closer to death than I would have thought.
Yeah, it
It ain't worth it, bud.
well, the thing
YouTube
is,
feed
like,
ain't worth it.
Well, the thing is, I get it. It's radio. That's not YouTube. But we got to produce content, and we have a producer meeting after this, so
Sure.
it's kind of double
We're gonna bring
whammy.
this up probably.
Oh, I believe
Well, it's gonna
you
be
me.
about- yeah, I'm about to say-
yes. I'll just say yes.
So
I'll say yes.
This is definitely not how I planned my Wednesday to go. Especially, I showed up early.
Well, because
I had
you'll
everything
definitely
set
get the
out.
blame.
I mean, it's cool.
sure.
I'm a man. It happens, but it's just like this is ridiculous.
Are you
Like,
though? You're not 40.
even
Mike
40,
Gundy
bud.
said that you kind of got to be
look,
40.
there's levels
half a
to
man.
it. It's levels to that. I think that comes with like you become the sage.
Yeah, I
you just
got
get
you.
older
I
and
got
older.
We just like saying Mike Gundy. I'm a man.
Yep.
I'm 40
Yep.
up here.
Hey, Mike Gundy upset Oregon. Let's get it.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
I just need
forgot.
him to calm down because the
Hey,
energy.
yeah, because you're good. 'cause
it's
we're
making
good.
me like.
Yeah.
It's making me stressed out.
Yeah, this is not the crew that's going to yell at you or be mad at you. It is what it is. It's
I
not
can
your
just
fault.
feel the energy.
But
off
We
of
have
it.
we have engineers that are supposed to fix issues like this. That's not on you. So you're good. You are
I got
good.
you. I got
I
you.
want you to get that energy when we talk about the Saints later on.
Man, hopefully we get
Jake
YouTube.
Haener's
so,
back, baby.
Let's go
See,
ahead and get
that's not
there.
gonna fire me up. That's not
Let's
gonna fire
go
me
ahead
up.
and get
not
there.
gonna do it.
Wait, that's what I
That's
put
not
on the
gonna fire me
doc.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
My
Yeah.
bullet points in the doc: release JT Gray. I guess. Who cares? Does nothing for me. What even?
That is like we talked about yesterday. So they do, move on from an all-pro special teams war daddy in JT Gray, and they left that spot open. So it's like, okay,
With
well,
Jake Haener.
I hate it, but it's going to be a roster decision. They feel like they need another body somewhere. They need maybe they need another corner, or maybe they want an extra tight end for the whatever it might be. No, it was just for Jake Haener to be
Haener.
elevated from the practice squad back to the active roster.
Yeah, it's a
Emergency
bizarre
quarterback.
move. It's a bizarre move. I'd like to hear like fly on the wall on the conversation that was had about it because he went through waivers, right? So he was either I don't even know what could have happened because he passed through waivers on the practice squad, and you decide to elevate him for what reason in particular? I don't understand the move. or the decision. There has to be something. I would like to give the Saints the benefit of the doubt that there was an actual stable, good, decent reasoning behind the move. But there's not from the cuff, looking like not being on the inside. No. There is not. Because you just don't do that. Like you, and we talked about JT Gray being released yesterday, but with the understanding of giving the Saints the benefit of the doubt of saying, all right, well, they had an extra linebacker, extra offensive lineman, extra DB. Like, okay, fine. You get it. We get it. You'd rather have a guy in there that has a potential of playing 20, 25 plays than a guy that's a special teams guy. Okay, that's a tough decision to make. Yeah. You made it, whatever. But you don't do it for a third quarterback that had passed through waivers, so he was not a threat, from what we know at least, threat to go to a different roster or to leave you.
Literally. I mean, it's crazy, but at the same time, a lot of people, oh, bro, he's a special teamer, who cares and all this. But it's like, you saw the reaction.
No one hates like that.
Yeah, there's a difference between like a special teamer and a core 4 war daddy that's an all-pro.
All-pro 3 times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you move on from him, I can make the math work if you say, like Matt said, we need this guy that can play 15 snaps on offense or defense and some special teams. Because right now, where our roster is, we need that body in there on, the all 22, either offense or defense, right?
Or the option. Like,
the option to
a guy, one of our starter, our 2 deep guys, he's working through a little sprained ankle right now, like just in case.
Yeah.
Like you could justify this move in so many ways. There's so many scenarios in which you can justify releasing a special teams guy, even if he is a core war daddy, Pro Bowler type guy. Yeah. There's a lot of ways you can justify. This certainly is not one of them. Yeah. And I get it. Jake Haener's probably in this place where he's going to be up and down. Up and down. They're going to do roster gymnastics, and maybe like we're not seeing. I hope we're not seeing the entire picture here. But like, God, Saints, I'm trying. I'm trying so hard right now to cheer for you, give you the benefit of the doubt, to cheer for Kellen Moore, who I think is a great coach. Like to do all that stuff. I'm trying so hard to be a fan. You're just making it difficult right this second. I just don't understand it. Maybe give us some sort of good reasoning. Tell the people. Yeah. Like get your fans like behind you a little bit. At least give them some nuggets. Like tell them this is the decision we made. This is why we made the decision. And it can't just be because we needed Jake Haener on the active roster when we had him clear waivers and on the practice squad.
Yeah.
That can't be the reason. What do you think?
I don't have in my mind, like I'm trying to get the Rubik's Cube to keep turning.
We are trying.
There. I just don't know that I could ever get there, and for this one to make sense to me.
See, if you're Cam Jordan, if you're Alvin Kamara, what is your thoughts? Like, how do you justify that to them?
Oh, right. I mean, they were mad. I mean, Alvin Kamara was on Twitter. Yeah, he was like, what is going on? I mean, Tyrann Mathieu coming from the top rope. See, but that's the problem, guys. You're trying to put yourself in a mind frame where you're understanding Mickey Loomis. The sane man doesn't happen. You guys have a brain. That's not going to work. You're not going to be able to understand what Mickey's doing because nobody understands what Mickey's doing.
Right.
So that's the problem. You can't even put yourself in that type of state of mind.
The coaches are probably involved in this one too, though.
Do you think so? I have no idea. I believe that the coaches might not be involved at all.
And Mickey just calling the shots.
Why else was everybody turned down the job? Nobody wanted the job. Why? Because maybe there's a stipulation that you ain't got no say.
Yeah.
Coach the people I put on the roster.
I like that.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe that is.
I believe it.
This one helps nobody. Because look, there was a quarterback competition, and it was 2 people. Like, they started out as 3, and we were like, why are you doing that? But it was 2 people. It was Shuck and it was Rattler, right?
Yes.
So those 2 are still on the roster.
Yep.
You had Jake on the practice squad. He's your emergency quarterback. Why elevate him? Like for
what?
For what reason?
Literally.
Like even if he's the only thing I can think of maybe a justification is if he's on practice squad and like another team can offer to take you on their active roster. Yeah, even if you're on the practice squad.
And maybe he got an offer, but and that happened a lot. We appreciate your time here.
And that happened a lot when I was in Green Bay. It happened to Graham Harrell. He was on the practice squad and someone wanted to pick him up on the active roster because they had an injury. Well, Green Bay had the option to keep him on practice squad, but match the salary that they were like the the rookie minimum for an active roster guy.
Yeah.
Like maybe that happened and they had to activate him or he was leaving. But
It just happened to Sam Ehlinger.
So what?
In Denver. Same thing.
So what if he leaves?
Yeah.
Like yeah. And so to me, to justify that, how do you justify that to your veterans that have been so loyal?
Yeah.
I was
Loyal to a
cussing.
fault, maybe.
I was cussing at Kamara a couple years ago when he signed his contract extension. Like, what are you doing? Free yourself. Fly. Go fly. Go be a star.
Spread your wings.
Go win a ring.
Yeah.
Go contend. Like, the situation that he re-signed into was not good. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And I know maybe we're making like way too much of this cut, but the justification on it is embarrassing.
Yep.
And I'm trying.
There.
I want to be a fan. I want to cheer. I want to wax poetically about how hard the effort they did. But there's the stupid things really set me off. And
then you upset your veteran players, like you said, that have been so loyal to you, even ones that like Tyron who retired, but still Tyron knows what JT meant to the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I can make the math work if you say, hey, last thing we wanted to do, but look, we were really banged up at tight end. And we had to have another guy available because even our second tight end, he's got like a little ankle deal. And it's like, if he goes down, man, we're a lot of 12 personnel. We're gonna be really in the dark here. Like you don't love it, but you understand it.
Mm-hmm.
This one you hate, and you can't make me understand it.
Mm-hmm. And what's what we said yesterday. We kind of like said, well, yesterday talking about JT Gregg being released was like, well, that sucks, but like, sure, I get it.
I thought it was going to be this situation.
Benefit of the doubt.
Right.
But there's no explanation to this. And maybe we're just not smart enough to see it.
No.
Maybe we just can't see behind the curtain how the sausage is made. Well, it doesn't really matter how the sausage is made if the sausage ain't good.
That's right.
No, but y'all are spot on. Like nobody would care if they actually brought in some type of any position player. I promise you, it would have been like, all right, okay, well, we can say that. But bringing in QB3, like you said, who passed waivers, so it wasn't like he was a top priority.
Right.
When it's like, even if Rattler does, so you think Rattler and Shuck are just gonna just explode?
Right.
And Haener's gonna have to come in. I don't understand that move at all.
I mean, unless they're not telling us something and like Shuck is fighting through a shoulder injury or something. I don't know.
That's the only logical
I'm just
answer.
like, we're trying, people.
Like,
we're trying to justify.
Else? Like, what else could you say that you're going to need a QB3 off the practice squad week 1?
Yeah.
Hey, I still got the Saints to win this week.
You know, y'all play the NFL. You know, after week 1, like this the healthiest you're going to be all year right now.
Yeah.
You don't need QB3. You don't need a QB3 right now. That's just my opinion, man. We'll see how it goes, but hey, Mickey Loomis, we'll just see. You know, we'll let it play out. We'll let the cards fall where they may.
You want I can justify it again.
Okay.
Another justification potential.
All right.
They thought that maybe at some point this season they would need Jake Haener as a 3 per an injury or something like that because of the offensive line woes.
Okay.
And they wanted to give JT a grade to get on with another team right now. So they just went ahead and ripped the Band-Aid off.
So you think this was this
is them being nice.
A solid?
Good guy.
Okay.
Being good guys.
Also, if it's like how Nick kind of says where Spencer Rattler's QB1 right now, but who knows? Maybe Tyler Shuck will end up being QB1. Wait, did you say? Sorry, I'm getting text, so I don't know if you already said this. But
no,
like,
I didn't. Yeah.
Okay, like maybe in another justification in the Saints' head, they've got one QB1 in the form of 2 people.
That's right.
So maybe they just need they need a QB2, and Jake Haener's actually the QB2, and Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck are both QB1.
Yeah, Nick,
Yeah.
you're listening over there. I asked you a question yesterday about Spencer Rattler, and all you talked about was Shuck the whole time.
So I wasn't going there, but
Come on, Nick.
I already gave you that.
All right. Let's get away from this because we're only going to continue to make ourselves more angry. We are going to have Dr. Stephen Etheridge join us in the next break. Always look forward to having him in studio with us, and we'll break down any Saints injuries or any injuries. Michael Parsons.
Yeah, right.
Right now, he's got an injury that we'll ask Dr. Stephen Etheridge about, and we'll do it when we come back here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, if your business is still fighting with printers and copiers that don't work when you need them to, or maybe getting on YouTube, it is time to call your friends over at Gulf Coast Office Products. They've been Louisiana's leader in office technology for over 40 years, helping businesses big and small keep things running smoothly. From printers and copiers to full office solutions, Gulf Coast Office Products is all about service. And they back it up with the largest team of service techs in the Gulf South. That means when something goes down, they're going to be there fast and have you back up and running ASAP. So stop wasting time and money and partner with the local guys who do it better. Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of LSU Athletics. You can learn more, Flynn, at GCOP.net.
Yeah. That's right. Your workplace efficiency lifeline. Louisiana's leading copier and printer source. Offices in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Mandeville, Lafayette. Let them help you help your office working at its optimum efficiency. GCOPnet.com.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn, Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
I'm gonna let it breathe.
Woo, let's get fired up. We going on a date or something?
You played Ja Rule earlier, my guy.
Yeah, brought the juice, didn't it?
Firefest, Ja Rule. So you
Okay.
played. I brought the juice to nobody.
Getting real
This
defensive.
isn't-
You know,
Yeah.
right. You're getting defensive.
No, because we each get to go around.
Yeah,
We get to choose our song.
sure.
This is mine, not yours.
I got it. I can give my opinion.
No.
This
give-
is the song.
I love this song. Even when it has a midstream ad.
You were
pops
just
up
trying to
like
like chill everybody out after our Saints talk. I get it.
That's what I like to
respect
do before the game, Doc. I like to, so I'd always listen to, different music coming down the hill. And then once I got back in pregame, it was like a little woosah. Like I wanted to chill out, clear mind, clear head. Before I went out there and got a little crazy for 60 minutes,
You got to flush it out.
Has anybody ever heard this song?
Nobody gives a damn if you've ever heard it. You didn't hear the Nelly song that we played earlier.
Yes.
You've heard the song?
Yeah.
Thank you.
On a date?
It's pretty popular.
On a date?
John
Popular
Mayer's-
where?
You don't listen to John Mayer ever?
You didn't know
I mean,
Man
not really.
Eater by Nelly Furtado a little bit earlier. So your music taste, you know what I'm doing to you? Mute. Hey, Dr. Etheridge, we appreciate your time as always. Big weekend for you. LSU Tigers, Florida State Seminoles, big dubs.
Yeah, I'm still on cloud nine. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to ride this one as long as I can.
So
You got a
don't
couple
know,
more days.
Dr. Etheridge played football at Florida State and team doctor here at LSU. So both his loves got big victories over some pretty big teams. Florida State beating Alabama, LSU beating Clemson. So we're always appreciative to have him in here with us in studio. And I got a couple of injuries that we'll go over that could affect week one in the NFL. And you mentioned the Micah Parsons stuff. And obviously, this guy next to you is paying attention to that one. He's hoping he's coming off the edge like a bat out of hell for the Green Bay Packers. And it's always when somebody gets traded and they have an injury, I guess it's always kind of like, okay, well, how much do you truly know? Like, I know team doctors in the NFL. When somebody gets traded like that, like, what is that physical exam like once they get to you?
Yeah, the whole process, I guess that's a whole discussion with any league, but especially the NFL. The injuries are such a big part of it. And, there's some very historically famous cases. Probably the biggest one around here is the whole Drew Brees saga where, you have to make a decision. And you don't want to be under the fire. You never want to be the guy that clears somebody who's not going to be able to play. But you also don't want to be on the other side of that and say, hey, I can't clear this guy. So it's really tough. That's you talk about a long story, how it affected a lot of things around here. And so yeah, with the Micah Parsons one, it's a back injury. I believe they said it was a facet injury at L4, L5. And,
right.
And those are common injuries on the one hand, but man, backs are scary. I'll tell you, probably more than any part of the body for me, spine makes me nervous only because you can go so many ways. And you think people are progressing. You think, oh, this is going to get better in a week. This is going to be whatever. And then sometimes it doesn't go that way. They can be hard to predict. And then, although with the issue there's obviously other motivating factors. Was there an injury? Was it just wanting to get his contract?
Sure.
That's a whole different discussion as well. But
Well, tell us what that actually means. At L4, L5 facet joint sprain. What does that act? Is it inflammation? Is it a nerve thing? Like, what does that actually mean to the player when they're like, okay, well, all right, doc, I got a joint sprain, facet joint sprain. What is that?
So it is mostly an inflammatory process. So the facet joints are these joints. If you ever looked at a picture of a vertebrae, you've got the body, which is that circular portion of the bone that kind of stacks on top, the discs sit between that, but then the portion that kind of protrudes out towards your back. So those kind of bumps you feel on your back, those are what are called your spinous processes. And at each level, each vertebrae has a joint with the vertebrae above and below behind the spine, and that's where the facets are. So it's that little projection off the back of the spine. And it is a joint, just like your knee. It's got a synovial fluid inside it. It's got a capsule that's around it. So it's just like any other joint in the body, and it allows you to twist and turn and bend. But the problem is when you twist and turn and bend, it also puts a lot of stress on that joint. And if that joint gets inflamed, as you can imagine, every time you arch your back, every time you twist, every time you do a certain movement, it can be really, to the point, debilitating pain, or it can also just be a mild nuisance and really anything in between.
Is it a situation to where, like, because they're talking about an injection for him before the game, and I would assume, we got injections. We've got the cortisone and the whatever it is to help fix that. But is the injection something that is just there as an anti-inflammatory?
Most of the times, yes. Most of the times what we're talking about, the common treatments, mild cases, maybe some therapy, maybe an anti-inflammatory medication, an ibuprofen, or maybe a prescription version of that. And then you kind of move into the injections after that. And these are typically like your kind of like your ESI type injections. Yep. These are ones that you would need to do in advance. So it's not necessarily one we would do on a game day. It's one you would go, several days or even weeks in advance. And, these are done under radiographic guidance. Oftentimes you're put to sleep for these because they have to get into that small space. And when you're working around the spine, the difference of millimeters can be significant. So you want to make sure the needle goes right in the right spot. So it's usually a cortisone shot, usually something to calm down the inflammation. And again, if the inflammation goes away, problem is usually solved. There are other treatments, and the severe end of that being surgical treatments. We talked about some of these other biologic injections last week. Sometimes in some scenarios you would use that, but the most common is just an anti-inflammatory, trying to get it to settle down.
So we're looking at the New Orleans Saints for this week, and they've got a lot of guys with like some, muscle strains and some of those nagging just injuries, groins, hamstrings. Like when you're going out there and you're trying to test that pregame, because I'm sure all these guys are going to be game time decisions. I bet they get to the stadium 3.5, 4 hours early, and they're all. When you have like those, when you have hamstrings and when you have groins, like what are you looking for in that pregame kind of warm up to see if they can go?
Yeah, so a lot of it you got to listen to the athlete. A lot of this is we have to have good communication. And this is where the relationships you have, not only as a physician, but even more so. This is when we really rely heavily on our athletic trainers because they're the staff that's there, the boots on the ground. Right. They're the ones that are putting in the hours. They know these guys. So usually it starts with just doing some basic drills. You might have them even go out there with one of their trainers. A lot of times you have specific trainers working with the offense or defense or the position groups. So that's usually where it starts. They'll go out there, they'll have them kind of warm up and start off doing something simple. And then you build to what they would do in the game. If it's an alignment, you're going to have him get out of his stance. You're going to have him do his kick steps. You're going to have him kind of lock up on a pad, whatever we have to do to see if he can go. If it's a wide receiver, we want to see that he can accelerate out. Can he get to full speed? And if he starts feeling that hamstring, for example, catching, then we probably aren't going to want him to go because A, we don't want him to get hurt more. That's the first and foremost priority. But then B, you want performance. And if you can't go 100%, if you're going at 80% speed, then you're probably not going to be a beneficial player in most circumstances.
Doc, when somebody in a game, we always see the player go down. We see the doctors, the trainers rush to him. We see you a lot out there. You get a lot of screen time. So when you go out there and you got somebody laying, and it might depend on like what body part they're holding or where you think the injury is. What is like your go-to? What's the first thing you say to a player when you run out there and they're sitting there injured?
Well, hopefully not seeing too much of me in most games. We don't like that, I think it depends on the player too. To be honest with you, and how serious is it when we first get out there? I mean, if it's a real serious situation, obviously my tone, my attitude is going to be very different. Sometimes you get out there and you realize, hey, this guy's probably okay. He's maybe, you got to based on what they look, and then you might even kind of crack a joke or something, or make a fun of what happened on the play. You want to get the guys' spirits better. But in a serious situation, you're starting with the basics, like, hey, are you okay? I mean, I know that's kind of a generic question, but, are you okay? What happened? What did you feel? Right. We're trying to quickly assess on the field. That's kind of the triage. Is this something where we need to get the tent up? Do we need to maybe take them off the field? Yep. Do we need to leave them where they are and not move them? And that's really what we're trying to assess in the beginning because, if it's a spine injury, we talked about low back, but if it's a neck injury that we're worried about, I don't want that person moving.
True. Yeah.
Whereas if it's a guy that maybe just winded, maybe a little cramp, maybe took a shot in not a desirable location. Sometimes those are things that we can.
And look, I mean, whatever team, like you also know different pain levels probably for players, and like there's probably some people that if they're acting hurt, you're like, uh-oh. Because I mean, they're
right.
It's like I know this person's not going to go out there, and if they're acting like that, something. So you kind of know off that too, right?
Yeah. Again, that's where when we talked about a moment ago, relationships. The
right.
guys usually pretty well. Sometimes today's game, sometimes you get newer players, takes a little bit longer with the transfers. And
right.
But for the most part, we know these guys pretty well. And again, like I keep going back to, but our trainers, they're there every day. So
right.
So you can kind of base a lot of what we're doing on their response. We kind of lean on them a lot because, again, they're invaluable out there.
So when you're out there, like I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but like, is there like one? But I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick. Is there one like interaction with a player that was hurt that just sticks out to you as like just being really funny or crazy? Like I'm sure you go out there a lot and they're like, I just got hit in the balls or something like that. Like stuff happens, but like, is there something where a guy was like, oh my God, okay, this is pretty funny?
Yeah, I mean, there's one guy, I won't necessarily say his name because for protection of certain things, but every time he'd go down, it was a coin toss because he was a defensive lineman, and he was, I'll give that much, and bigger guy, and sometimes he was just tired. And so he'd go down, and we're like, well, is he tired or is he hurt? And he was also a very good actor, so you couldn't base it off his response because he'd be rolling, he'd be looking like he's nagging. Then we got here, Doc, I just need a breath.
Yeah.
I just tired.
That does happen. We try not to do that, but obviously that does happen, and in that scenario, we have to be.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we were trained to like fake.
Yeah, for sure.
Fake an injury if we had like a chin strap malfunction or something. And I know
I only had the doctors come out for me one time. It was after scored against Florida, and I couldn't buckle my chin strap. It come loose, and I tried to do it, and there was so much sand on the field that sand got lodged in there. And I was on the extra point team, and we had one timeout. And I'm like, I don't want something to happen and then have to use a timeout on me, like to get me off, get Richard Dixon on, who was my backup on extra point or whatever. And so, like, it was terrible acting. I just grabbed my knee, and I remember Jack and Bear coming out there. They're like, hey, man, what happened to you? I was like, I got sand in my chin strap. And then, of course, Jack, you can see on the TV copy, he's like, oh, my God.
Oh, man.
But, look, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do it. You got to win.
It's part of it, yeah, absolutely.
We were taught to be actors. Bad ones, but actors.
Real bad ones.
So, now there is kind of rules against that, though.
Yeah, they're trying to kind of lock down that, yeah.
There should be. Yeah, that should be.
Do the refs like come in and try to like hear the conversation a little bit? Let's like make sure like, what's he saying?
Yeah, trying to ear hustle. Doc, also I know Friday nights are about to kick up here in high school football. You got Thursday games, you got Friday games. Like this is week one in high school football, and I know y'all have got something over there at the clinic. If something, knock on wood, does happen on Friday night, that y'all are ready to go.
Yeah, it's a service that we provided for years before even I got here, and it's something that I think is one of the cooler things that we do. Very proud of it. Is every Friday night during football season we have a injury clinic at Brock, and basically it's for really anybody. We say it's a football injury clinic, but any sports injury. In fact, the first year I ever covered it, my first individual to come in was somebody from the band who had rolled an ankle.
Oh wow, yeah.
But it's a free clinic. We provide everything. If they need X-rays, they get X-rays. We don't worry about if you have insurance, if you don't. And then whatever the scenario is from there, we try and get those people set up with what they need.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to get an evaluation. And again, these are going to be done by our orthopedists. They're going to be there every night. We all kind of take turns, rotate through it. So you're going to get great care for any sports injury that occurs. It's starts at 9 o'clock on Friday nights, and usually we're there until at least 11. We need to stay later. Sometimes we'll get some calls from a trainer like, "Hey, we're getting somebody in."
Right.
And it's a really cool service, something that I'm really proud of.
Yes, and hopefully you don't have to use it, right?
Yeah,
but I
right,
mean, it's football, it's tackle football, and thank God that they do that. That's a really cool deal.
Yeah, I mean, y'all do a great job, for where my son plays high school football. And so if number 57 ever lays on the ground, tell him rub some dirt on it.
For sure.
Tell him to get up.
Better not be faking a chin strap injury.
No, let's go. We got to get out there. Doc, we appreciate it like we do every single week. Can't thank you enough for your time. And again, enjoy the ride that you had this weekend because I saw you walk in, and I don't think your feet hit the ground.
Oh, man, everything smells better, tastes better, looks better. This week's been great.
All right, there he is, our guy, Dr. Stephen Etheridge, good enough to join us here on OTB. We'll take a break. More on the other side when we come back on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
All right, go to allstar12batonrouge.com. Buying new, leasing, renting, every single thing is available. A lot of times when you're buying new, obviously. But when you are leasing, you might have one option in every category, maybe. When you're renting, you might have 3 total to choose from. Not the case over at All-Star. Check out that rental department. If you're going to watch the Tigers play this fall and you want to have a road trip, well, go ahead and rent that Toyota. Go ahead and reserve that rental as well. Call Miss Lisa Sessions today in that rental department. Again, everything is available. Midsize SUV, full-size van, truck, you name it. It's there. All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com.
Yeah, well, it's new cars, used cars, rentals, whatever it is. Like the rental service for them is the most unique thing about a dealer, because when you want to do a per day rental, you're like, oh man, it's from a dealer. I can do any car in the lot, but it's probably way more expensive. No, it's just as cheap or better prices than what you get at the airport car rental places. So go check them out. Call them today. Rent your car for that little trip, that little vacation, whatever it is. All-Star Toyota at BatonRouge.com.
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench. Locked in.
You know this one, Flynn?
Yeah, bub.
Okay.
This is actually a popular song.
Oh, it's weird, the people on Twitter that are tagging both of us saying that they've definitely heard that song and Flynn's an idiot. Those aren't my words, you know.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
You get so weird.
what do you mean weird? I'm just being
If you
me.
haven't heard of a song, I'm not just talking about my songs. I'm talking about anybody's. You're like, this popular?
Yeah.
Didn't know the catalog you had in your brain there. Sorry, bud.
I know a lot of music. A lot of music. But, you know,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
John Mayer Deep Track from like his 50th album. I don't really know that one.
I think it was from his
I don't know. Deep
third album, if I'm not mistaken.
Whatever.
Song's old.
Is it old?
Yeah, it's old. Probably 20 years old.
All right.
Something like that.
It's a good guitar player.
It's great. Who else is great? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
There they are.
YourGoodwood.com is the website. You should probably go there. Probably go check out a full list of services that they offer.
Yep.
You should probably set the consultation up as well, you know, right there in the bottom right corner. Going to pick up the phone, give them a call, 225-4GD-WOOD.
Yep.
Probably
You
should
know,
do that.
Jordan had to call Goodwood, get that YouTube back up.
Yeah, I just couldn't get it up. I don't know what was
We
wrong.
got it up now.
Yeah.
Go to Your Goodwood. YourGoodwood.com. Check them out, man.
Hey, it's an hour and a half into it, but we're good.
It's
Hey,
fine.
you know,
Better.
as long as I got the job done.
Probably the greatest hour and a half
Never.
of YouTube radio ever.
Yeah, you know,
Missed it.
see, you never in the journey.
YouTube radio.
Yeah. I'm about to say, in the journey, it's all about, you know, the pitfalls. You know, sometimes you got to fall in your face. It's okay. We'll be all right.
That's what we were trying to tell you when you were freaking out.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
hey, man,
Don't
we're
try to
good.
calm us down now.
Yeah, don't call us.
You're right. And I got to flip the script. Flip the script.
Trying to just make you like, hey, it's okay. We're not going to yell at you.
Oh no, I was heated. Around
Daniel,
6:40,
in the huddle.
Around 6:40, I was heated. I'm like, damn.
In the
nobody
huddle.
answered the phone.
Whoa.
The huddle in the chat, whatever it's called. Can we call it the huddle?
I mean, Bayou Ford huddle if you
He
want
said,
to.
also ask Matt how he's never heard of Man Eater. I have, from Hall & Oates. Way better.
Y'all, he is very pinky up in the air when it comes to music, so don't even attempt.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, it's very true. Right there. Pinky in the air.
Pinky's up.
If he hasn't heard of it, must suck.
That's a fact.
Like this microphone that keeps falling. It needs to go to Goodwood.
Got the old limp mic.
One of the things that popped yesterday, Dabo Sweeney in his weekly press conference there, Monday press conference, like all these coaches do. He was talking about grading the game. His quote was, "It's like getting a final exam the first day of class. They made a 65, we made a 58. neither one of us were great. So our guy Chris Marler asked, LouisianaSports.net, asked Brian Kelly about it during his press conference. And BK said, I thought we dominated them in the second half. So he's either a really good grader giving himself a 58, or he's a really hard grader on us. Or he didn't see the second half, which that might be the case. He might not have wanted to see the second half, was the reply from BK. And so BK was having none of that. And again, Marler put up a story on LouisianaSports.net if you want to see the clip there, because, yeah, I'm going to disagree with Dabo as far as the grading scale there. I thought in the first half for LSU, they were trying to figure out what it was going to be. Like Tom Allen's coming over from Penn State. Now he's calling defenses for Clemson. You can see Joe Sloan try to figure it out a little bit of a jab. Let's throw the haymaker in the second half. And they were throwing body blows, headshots, leg whips, everything they could in the second half. And Clemson really had no answer for it. That second half was dominant. And I know that it didn't end up in points, although it should have a touchdown that wasn't a touchdown. But they dominated, LSU did, the second half, and they outcoached Clemson on every single level. Now that we do have video back, like there was about, 6 plays I think I sent y'all yesterday of someone clipped up of everything the offense did to keep Clemson on their heels. So, I mean, I'm going to agree with BK here as far as if that's his grading system, I'd hate him as a professor.
No doubt.
Because I thought if you're grading the second half, I mean, it'd be hard not to give an A to what LSU was able to do.
Yeah, and I know D's are for degrees, but, man, that grading scale is pretty rough there, which is fine. I mean, he's trying to, just give up. Probably a blow-off comment, saying, hey, man, we got a lot of work to do. Both teams are really good, but both teams are going to get a lot better. Yeah, I get that. But I'm sitting here just kind of scrolling through tape as we're doing this show. I just saw, Monsieur Delane make a great play. That was an A-plus play to me. So, yeah, just like you said in the second half, where it doesn't show up in the scoreboard as much. So, we win the game 17-10, but it was a more dominant performance than a 17-10 scoreboard finale.
I mean, you got a touchdown taken away.
You got a touchdown taken away. If they played again now.
Now that you've seen that, because during Saturday in the group chat during the game, you were kind of like, I don't really know. I can understand it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know your answer to this. I'm asking, now that you've seen it, what do you think of that play?
What I think is I don't really know the rule.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I don't think they do.
I looked up the rule yesterday, and the rule does not go into as much granular detail as you would think.
Right.
So it's always been my opinion, if the receiver starts to make his catch with his momentum going towards the ground, he has to finish it through the ground.
Right.
But that
wasn't the case on Saturday. When he caught the football, he established himself inbounds.
Well, because of 2
with
steps.
His leg.
Are you saying he established himself because of 2 steps?
He established himself because he wasn't falling.
I agree that it is a catch. I'm just saying when it happened, when I was watching it live and we were all texting each other, I watched it and the replay came back. I was like, oh, that's not a catch. Because his momentum is going toward the ground when the ball hits his hands. He's going toward the ground, even though he makes 2 steps as he's falling.
And then he hits the pylon, which
does count.
Any level of football, that's a touchdown.
I agree.
With possession. Pylon with possession.
It's just not what a catch is needs to be more defined. It is a catch. I know. It's such a hypocritical rule that Bauer Sharp can take almost 2 steps and it be called a fumble, and we can't take 2 steps, hit a pylon, and it's called an incomplete pass. How can you have possession and fumble?
How can it just be the same? Yeah.
How can it be the same thing? Right. It has to be consistent. It can't be hypocritical on one side. It can't be both going against both rules, not judged the same, but they both penalize the offense.
Yeah, and so obviously I'm not watching the TV copy. I'm calling the game, but apparently the rules analyst was like, that's a catch. That's a touchdown.
He was like, it's a catch. Got his foot inbounds, hit the pylon. That's a touchdown.
Yeah.
And so me watching, I'm watching the TV copy. I'm like, oh, touchdown. So
Yeah.
I didn't know in no point in time.
Us either in the booth, so don't feel bad.
So at no point in time when the referee came in there to give the call, when he said incomplete, I was never a thought in my mind was he was going to say incomplete. It was either going to be down at the 1 or a touchdown. So when he said incomplete and then you missed the kick, I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It felt like in that moment, it's like those are things that lose football games.
No doubt.
Because think about the momentum that you went from, we got it on the 1 to, oh, my God, we scored. And when they went in, that's the only thing we thought they were looking at.
Yes.
When that man came back there and said incomplete pass.
Couldn't believe it.
I was hot on the CB was too. And I felt bad because Gordy's like, well, I was like, no, I don't know. I don't know, Gordy. I need more.
You didn't like our group chat then?
No, I hated it, in fact. But you're lucky I was concentrating on the game and not just doing this to the buttons, texting you back. You're too close to the case.
Because
I told you that. You gotta turn your badge in.
It was not a catch. Dez did not have a catch.
Dez caught that ball every day and twice
Incomplete.
on Sundays.
Dez caught that.
Incomplete.
I get why you're like that. Yeah. But that was a catch.
I agree. Cases. LSU's was a catch. Dez was not a catch.
Okay.
You won the game. It's okay.
But they got rid of that rule, right? Like you had to finish every catch through the ground, no matter how many steps, right?
I mean, we think so. Nobody can really tell you what a catch is.
Nobody can. Yeah. Like I literally looked up the rule book yesterday.
Oh, and it's funny we say that because
it doesn't talk about that situation.
Yeah.
It doesn't talk about steps.
It just happened in the South Carolina game, Virginia Tech with Harbor, where they didn't count his touchdown either. So I was like, you know what? They let that one. They didn't count that one either. I'm not going to trip too hard about Barron. Even though I still feel like Barron Brown scored. The fact that they didn't call that for Nick Harbor, I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, that was BS too.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Final point before we take this break. To have that happen to you, miss the kick, and still not let momentum go to Clemson for the rest of the game, that kind of shows you the DNA and the wiring of this group is different than it has been in the past.
Oh, 100%.
Did you agree there?
Because they got that crazy dude energy on defense. That's why.
Oh, I mean, let's call it like it is. They have meathead energy on defense.
Yep.
They've got the perfect amount of meathead with skill, with high football IQ, and just dog in them.
Yes.
And I'm like, as we're talking right now, I'm like flipping through the actual 11-on-11 game film right now as we're like, I can't even see numbers a lot of times because it's the zoomed out sideline version. And we got to be so excited about our DBs. I mean, we're talking lockdown corner play right now, both sides of the ball. It's very impressive. So much energy.
Gulf South, you noticed how LSU was trying to hurry up after the play. They knew it would be incomplete. Actually, if you go back and you watch the All-22, I don't know what the TV showed, they weren't. They actually were checking at the line of scrimmage on the next play. I thought actually Gulf South they would. I thought they would actually rush to the line. But if you go back, because I pointed that out on the broadcast, they weren't. They were kind of like Nussmeier was pointing and getting people kind of lined up. And so I think and if you watch the LSU coaches sideline, they were signaling touchdown. That's what they were trying to get. They weren't trying to hurry up and get a play because they thought it was incomplete. I talked with one of the coaches after the game, and they said, no, we knew it was a touchdown and not down at the 1, and that's what we were trying to signal there. So they were as surprised as we were.
It was clear and obvious, like live, that it was a touchdown, like that he had caught it and crossed the pylon. Like, of course, nobody saw the bobble at the end, like the ground moved the ball.
Yeah.
But like for that guy to mark it down at the 1 was pretty
that was
ballsy.
Wild behavior too.
That was wild behavior.
Yes. All right, we got to take a break. We'll do it. More OTB here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the bench.
All right, go to russellpools.com. It's the website for Russell Pool Company. And one of the things we always encourage you, man, just let it breathe a little bit. Let the website breathe. It's going to pull up all these amazing pools that they have built in your neighbor's backyard. Now, it doesn't have to be your neighbor. It can be you that has the incredible custom pool in your backyard. And you'll see there on the website, I mean, just custom pool after. There's no kidney shape. There's no just rectangles out there.
Squares.
I mean, no squares either. All right. Russell Pools doesn't deal with squares. I mean, look at the work that they can do for you. Whatever your dream pool is, they can make it a reality over at russellpools.com.
Hey, if your dream pool is a kidney-shaped pool or a square pool, they can do that too. But like they can, you want a lazy river, you want a grotto, you want a sun shelf, you want anything. They can turn your dream into an absolute reality, completely turnkey a project. And what does that mean? They can take, you just tell them exactly what you want. They can draw it. They can architect it up. They can design it, engineer it. They will do everything. So when you think of quality custom pools in Louisiana, you think of Russell Pools. That is russellpools.com.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Can't explain all the feelings that you're making me feel. My heart's in overdrive and you're behind the steering wheel. Touching you, touching me.
All right, welcome back in OTB. Brought to you by All-Star Toyota here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Let's
go. When we come back, I get a little Would You Rather. So go ahead, Jordan. You got to get a question ready for Would You Rather Wednesday. Back on YouTube. Feels good. Back alive. We're here.
Phil, it's great. It felt really uncomfortable not being on YouTube.
And also in hour number 3, we'll give you our first preview of Louisiana Tech, the Bulldogs, as LSU prepares to take on the Dogs inside Tiger Stadium for the first home game of the year. So we've got that. Would you rather? Stay locked in here with us. We're going to maybe even try to I'm not even going to say that because we don't. We're glad we're on YouTube. So for me to say we might show some tape, I'm not even going to say that.
Yep. We're just going to surprise you. Maybe
we'll surprise you. If it
won't.
works. Fingers crossed. How about that? All right, stay locked in here. More OTB when we come back on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Off the Bench.
All right, so back in 1934, 7 LSU employees had a vision, people helping people. That vision became Campus Federal. And today they proudly serve more than 44,000 members across Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and in the port city up there in Shreveport. So when it comes to checking accounts, Campus Federal has a fit for everyone. A Lanyap checking earns up to 5.25% APY on balances up to $10,000 with ATM fees, refunds every month you qualify. Little Lanyap Lite pays 4% APY when even fewer requirements if you're under 30. Jordan Alondra. They got the young adult checking. It's totally free. No fees. And if you just want a simple and reliable, you got the old Campus Classic. It gets it done every single time. So many options. An option for everybody. Go to campusfederal.org.